Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, round 16 of our World Championship, and it takes us to Motegi for the Japanese GP. So a track that isn't quite my favourite, Motegi, one of those circuits that gives me a bit of trouble, to be quite honest with you, but I'm feeling quite confident, I'm feeling somewhat optimistic with this bike and this track, because of course we doubled down early on in the season for Package B after the Catalonia test, which gave us better braking stability, and braking has really been our forte this season. Braking has been where we have gained so much time on tracks such as Sachsenring, Le Mans, and even in Mugello, but the rest of the track in Mugello gave us a bit of hard time, unfortunately. But those tracks that have the harder braking zones really benefit the Aprilia. The lower gear corners, the lower speed corners, again, is where we are pretty confident. So going into this one, it might not be as bad as I was originally expecting, because early on in the season, and even in the Aragon GP, I made mention to the fact that Motegi is not one of my most favourite circuits and will probably be quite the challenge. Well, as things stand right now, the championship leader, Johan Zarco, is leading with a 1:45.723. Joan Mir and Alex Marquez both on red sectors in the first sector, and of course Matt Grant with a second split being the fastest of them all so far. But going out of the hairpin curve, we're going to get a good indication, and we're actually up by half a second to Johan Zarco's time at the minute. And actually, it was a combination of Joan Mir and Johan Zarco there in that statement. But going into the right-hander of the 90 degrees corner for turn 11, lovely tight apex going into the corner is what's required for a good exit. Going to have to be working on that one over the weekend. Goodness me, that was a bit too close there, going over the rumble strip. Now going into the victory corner, bring on the power with power setting 3 enabled, and we'll get across the line to understand, to see also where we are going to be. So the fastest lap of the session so far, and that electronic adjustment development has been completed. All I did was change the electronics to TCS 3, anti-wheelie 4 and engine brake on 4 as well. But keep an eye out on Joan Mir, Luca Marini and Franco Morbidelli. They are all going faster in those sector times right now, as Maverick Vinales goes to the top of the pile. Of course, in real life he's moved over to the Aprilia, but in the video game form, still on board the Yamaha, and he looks to be in form already. He's up into the top 3 positions in this practice session. Of course, the man in third place right now, Pecco Bagnaia, 1:44.362, so all the time we're getting different benchmarks in, and that puts us roughly about a second down to the factory Ducati Desmo Sodecchi GP21 riders. We go onto the left-hand side now for turn 7, down by 2.5 tenths of a second, so the pace isn't too bad so far. Usually what we find is when we're struggling in qualifying, is we're down by a good couple of tenths of a second, and maybe not a couple actually, maybe it's a little bit more, towards 6 to 8 tenths of a second. And of course MotoGP 21, the AI is so competitive in the practice and qualifying sessions that we have to get these right. Pol Espargaro ahead of us there, we probably won't be able to get into a slipstream, but maybe on the next lap if we have enough time or enough pace to continue. But for the time being, I'm probably going to change over to the different tyres and maybe give it another try as we get massively out of shape, going hard on the brakes there, completely out of shape. And a little bit of a genius strategy last time out in Misano. I did change the brakes back over to the 13-inch one, the larger brake disc, which actually gave us better braking stability, although it does heat the tyre up a little bit more. But honestly, I'm thinking I'm going to swap back over to those, because it doesn't seem to be working here going into that hard braking zone for the 90 degrees corner. So back again, here we go, soft front and medium rear enabled, and we are down by 1.1 seconds. I definitely believe we can finish in the top 10 of this practice session. So what I'm thinking is change the brakes over, which we have done, fresh tyres, and let's see how we can crack on here in Motegi. Going into turn 3, there's a bit of carnage ahead of us there. Someone's down into the third split. Of course, there would be yellow flags out, but in the video game form, nothing to really concern ourselves right now. Up by 29 thousandth of a second. Doesn't matter how much we're up by. All that matters is that we are within the remit of Pecco Bagnaia's 1:44.104. Because of course, those 3 laps that we've done so far, which was all roughly in the 1:45 2s and 3s. We need a good lap that's going to put us into the 1:44s. Doesn't have to be a 1:44.4. Doesn't have to be a 1:44.1. Just have to get ourselves in to the 1:44s, and I do believe that should be enough to take us into the practice session. There's been a crash just ahead of us. Not sure what's going on. I'm just looking in the top left-hand corner of the screen. There's a lot of crashes just in the next couple of corners. So Johan Zarco's crashed, and there just seems to be a oh my goodness, Taka Nakagami, the worst possible spot to crash there, going into the exit of that corner there, right on the apex of the hairpin. Surprised we actually missed that, but hard on the brakes will go for the 90 degrees corner, turn 11, onto the right-hander will go nice and tight to the apex. Beautiful, look how tight we were, look at absolute carnage around this track right now. Not no idea what's going on, but look at us up by 1 second, flick it to the right for the victory corner, and this could be enough to put us into the practice session, or at least to end the practice session, and going into qualifying 2 with a wonderful, wonderful position. 3rd place for Dr. Ace, brilliant stuff there from Matt Grant. We'll be going into Q2, no doubt. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. So Pecco Bagnaia leading the way with factory Ducati teammate Jack Miller, the Australian, just a 10th of a second behind Pecco Bagnaia, and Grant a further 10th behind him. So very close time so far for the top 4, but at least it puts us into qualifying 2 straight away through as well. No questions asked, no issues, and we have a chance now for pole position. Of course, we had the first pole position last time out in Misano. Could we potentially have a chance for back-to-back poles? So here we go then, qualifying time, and currently as it stands, your front row is Quartararo, Mir and Aleix Espargaro. So shout out to Espargaro, getting that Aprilia on the front row would be a wonderful job coming in from my Spanish teammates. Zarco and Marquez look like they just crashed, or at least one of them just popped up on the screen just a moment ago, as Pecco Bagnaia has also just crashed as well. And look at the carnage ahead of us there. Not sure what's going on with the practice session and the qualifying here today in Motegi. Things aren't going quite right, but look at us, up by 0.4 of a second. Of course, those lap times at the top of the screen right now, Quartararo's 1:46, or at least sub 1:46, is probably not going to be the pole position time here in Motegi, because bear in mind, the practice sessions so far have featured very, very quicker lap times. Even ours was much quicker than that, and already into the 3rd sector, or at least before the 3rd sector, sorry, into the 2nd sector, we are up by a full second, a whole whopping second with this soft option front and medium rear combination. This could be a wonderful qualifying job for us. The goal here today is top 6. Austria, we had the top 6 and it turned into a result that was absolutely phenomenal. We want to be doing something very similar here today. The back-to-back pole positions would be the ideal dream, would be the absolute desire for us right now, but let's be realistic, pole positions haven't really come our way this season. It's taken until round 15 of Misano to get 1 pole position. We've had a couple of front row starts, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Right now, let's focus on a decent qualifying position. By going into the left-hander of turn 12, we'll go to the left for 13 briefly, flick it to the right for turn 14 for the victory corner, and look at all those crashes on screen right now. What on earth is going on? Even teammate Aleix Espargaro crashed, so we get across the line. It's a 1:44.207, brilliant lap coming in from the way of the man on board the Aprilia RSGP, the man in 2nd place in the World Championship, who is desperate to try and claim our rookie championship. No one's done the rookie championship since Marc Marquez back in 2013. Could we be the man to do it this season? You better believe we have the momentum from Misano, but can we ride that momentum here in Motegi? And I'm just looking at the left-hand side once again, and look at those crashes. What on earth is going on in this session? It could work out in our favour, this, because there seems to be some massive issues going on right now where everyone just continuously keeps crashing. I haven't seen a single sector time on the left-hand side of the screen, rhyming accidentally there, but something is going very, very wrong in this one. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to question it, because for the time being, we could have a chance of taking pole position, although it could be very, very gifted in the sense of, I just don't understand what's going on, quite honestly with you. There's just bikes everywhere, just strewn across the track. There is Johan Zarco. Maybe we'll get a good indication to see what he's going to do as we go hard on the brakes for the right-hander of the hairpin curve. He's gone off track. That's a big mistake. And Marquez has dropped the bike. Oh, are you kidding me? We were on a good lap then. Oh my goodness, what on earth is going on in this session right now? And now look at the left-hand side of the screen. Everything has gone completely bizarre. Pecco Bagnaia is in blue, Marquez is in a Suzuki, Quartararo's on an Aprilia. What on earth is going on in this session right now? I just skipped half of it, and no one has changed positions. Although they have changed positions, but the bikes haven't. Someone's just fallen through the floor. What the bloody hell is going on right now in this session? Milestone, sort it out, because this is ridiculous. Are we going to take pole position on a gifted pole? I mean, I can't be mad if that's going to happen, but at the same time, I'll be pretty pleased to take another pole position, although it's kind of gifted. I mean, I'm just seeing some sector times now. Marquez there was two white sectors, and Vinales, the same can be said for him. But I don't know what is going on this session right now. Is this going to be a pole position for us? The session has now expired. There is no more laps to be done. Everyone who's just crashed, or who's in the pits, or is not even on a flying lap right now, will no longer be able to put a lap in. We're on another good lap, and this could be enough to... Oh, we're going to run it a little bit wide into the hairpin curve, though. But we did pick it up quite nicely there, sort of salvage a little bit, and we're bringing on the power. Although this could be... Our one lap could be enough for pole position. This is very bizarre, to say the least. I don't really have much words going into the 90 degrees corner, honestly. I'm a little bit stumped. Are you happy with this result? I mean... I'm happy with the result, I think. Well, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, though? And let's get across the line. I don't want that glitch to happen where you get across the line, all of a sudden everybody's lap times come on in. So across the line, we are going to improve, and it's going to be a pole position of a 1:44.197. But Zarco, you lucky bugger, has somehow got into second position with Pecco Bagnaia in third place. But guys, that was absolutely bizarre. But I'm pleased with the results, so if you enjoyed the video, like, comment and subscribe. And of course, stay tuned for 8 PM tonight, because that is when the Grand Prix will be. And upon that note, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.
Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Ace video.